Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. I'm not sure who's going to be joining us, but we'll see. So today is about how to get out of your comfort zone and have success, happiness, achieve your goals. Because basically, when we live in life, when we achieve things, we have to get out of our comfort zones. It's like starting school for, when we're kids to go to school, that's hugely out of our comfort zone. But we have to start mixing, we have to, get education. Even if you don't go to school, if you're homeschooled, that's still out of your comfort zone, that's still learning something new. So I want to share some things that I've been through in the last few months that have taken me right out of my comfort zone. So several months ago, I decided to join Toastmasters. Sorry, I should introduce myself. I'm Helen Lingard, and I live in New Zealand, but I'm originally from South Wales in the UK. And my passion is to inspire people. My passion is to make a difference in the world, to change the world one person at a time. So, and I put these calls on mostly weekly. Sometimes I have guests, sometimes it's just for the team and anybody who wants to join us. Today I'm hoping some of my team will join me. And so for that reason, I actually didn't send it out, but I will do from next time because, again, we've all got to get used to being out of our comfort zone and speaking, doing videos, whatever it is, if you're part of a business. So back to my story. Several months ago, I decided to join Toastmasters because one of my goals is to be a motivational speaker. It's one of my passions. I want to travel the world, and I will travel the world, sorry, and I will inspire other people, whether they're single parents like me, whether they're ex-nurses, anybody who's been the underdog. I've been bullied in my past, and I wouldn't stand up for myself, and so I want to inspire all those people to get through those challenges, to be not like me, but to be their full potential, to achieve their full potential. So I joined Toastmasters, and I went to a few different groups to find out which was the right one for me, and I found the one that resonated with me. And I was sitting there in this meeting, and they asked you to speak up and introduce yourself. Now, I've been through quite a lot in my life. I've been a single parent. So for me, getting up and saying hello wasn't a big deal. I did that, was fine. But then they said, how about doing your first speech next week? And I didn't want to, but my subconscious took over and said, yeah, sure. So I started my Toastmasters. So I started doing my speech. It's called the Icebreaker. And each time I thought it was awful. But aside from one speech, they've all said I did pretty well. So that was getting right out of my comfort zone. So I did that a few months ago. And then more recently, I was listening to a webinar of part of the business I'm in. And it started at 6 o'clock New Zealand time. So I was on it. I was sitting in my pajamas in my bed watching this talk. And then they said they wanted somebody, they were selling a product, a great product, and I wanted to buy it. But one of my challenges is even when I have the money, I don't like to buy things. It goes back to my childhood. My father was very careful with money. And he would say, you mustn't use any more loo paper than this. Yes, the loo paper. Turn off all the lights. And it was always watching the pennies. So when I have money, I still don't like spending it. So I said, oh, yes, I'll come on live. So I rushed around the house, and I got myself decent, and I hadn't had a shower, but I looked semi-decent. And there's a photograph of me on my Facebook page on this webinar. And I spoke in front of like 2,000 people and told Dave Wood, the founder, what my challenge was. And he talked to me and basically said, it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I was shaking. Well, I wasn't shaking actually, because you can't see this 2,000 people. But and I actually haven't watched it back yet because I hate to watch myself talking. But I turn it around, you see, and this is what you have to do on a video. You have to turn it around and think, okay, well, I'm helping people here. And by speaking up, you are helping people because there's lots of people out there who can't get out of their comfort zone or don't want to, and you inspire them. So that's one thing I did, talk on the Hangout. And then a day or so later, the universe working with me again, there's another Hangout. And they were asking people who've got, again, a challenge. And so I said, yes, I'll go on there. And lo and behold, it's quite funny now I look back, but at the time, it was just, oh my God, I didn't expect this. And I was on this Hangout. And they Shuri asked me a question. And she was talking to me. And with that, the tears started coming. And it was just lots and lots of stuff that I was going through, or not going through, but I'd been through. And so I started crying, and oh my goodness. So it's one thing to be talking in front of, lots of people, and nothing to be crying for lots of people. However, that's good because it shows your vulnerability. People like to see you're real, that you're not putting on pretense. So there I was, get out of my comfort zone a few times, and then the third time I bore my eyes out. And then another thing I did was right out of my comfort zone again, but I felt it was the right time. I shared a story, which in my blog, and I shared it on Facebook. And again, people said to me, "Oh, I really resonate with you. You know, that's amazing." And what I shared was a very personal story about my family. A family member died several years ago, and at the time we were estranged. And I'd done what I could to make up, but we didn't reconcile before they died. So that was really difficult. So I had to process that. I had to work my way through that, and I have to now. It's still very sad, but you know, I worked on that, so I'm at peace with that. But there's lots of people out there who aren't talking to family members, aren't talking to friends, and it's just so important to actually say, "I'm sorry, I love you," you know, whatever, and just to make the peace on your side, get the ego out of it, and just say, "I'm sorry." So that was things I did out my comfort zone, and don't get me wrong, there's still areas. I mean, some people watching this will say, "Oh, hello, I know there's certain things," and there's always things, you know, that there's always another level to go. I mean, for instance, you know, 20 odd years ago, I did a bungee jump, and then 3 years ago, I did a skydive, and those are things that I don't think so much about doing, and yet there's other things that are more simple, like spending money when I've got it, and I think, "Oh no!" So there's all, you know, it's lots of things. So don't feel bad if you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to share with you today some strategies to help you get out of your comfort zone, because getting out of our comfort zone is so important. It's how we step over the edge. It's how we achieve things. It's how we're happy. We're basically we have to be getting out of our comfort zone all the time. We have challenges every single day, and to get out of our comfort zone, we have to do them. And I want to share a particular one that I did the other night, which a lot of people won't do. And I do this because I turn it around. This is the same as I said with videos. I turn it around. I spoke to a friend who was talking to me, and they were just saying to me, they were talking to me about a challenge they'd gone through several years ago. And I said to my friend, "Can I be totally honest with you here?" And they said, yeah. And I said, "Well, I'm saying this from a place of love." I said, "But you need to let this go. You need to write it down and let it go." Now, many people don't speak up. You know, you might hear a couple arguing. A friend might tell you about a story, and you're thinking, "Oh, she needs to get rid of that guy," or "He needs to get rid of that girl," or "They need to do something." And yet you think, "No, it's not my place." Yes, it is your place. If you can help that person, then it's up to you to speak up and say it again, like I did. I'm coming to you from a place of love here, and you can take my advice or leave it, but this is what might be worth it to do. So let me just go look at my notes here and see what else I have to tell you. So if you're part of this business, and again, my team members, you may be watching this, if you're part of this business, then getting out of your comfort zone could be writing your first blog. And you might think, "What can I write my first blog about?" Well, that can be like a book you've read, a conversation you've had. I find I get inspired every day by things that happen to me, conversations I have, things I read, the book I'm reading, everything and everything, conversations, thoughts, something my children say to me, things friends say, everything and everything can be turned into a blog post. It doesn't have to be a huge blog post. You can, find a video you like and say, "Oh, I love this video. What do you think?" And do that. Everything and anything. Your first video, again. I remember my first video many years ago. I say many years ago. It was about good few years ago, because I've just realised I've been in my house 9 years, and it was about just after we moved in. And I sat on the settee, and my kids were doing it, and I'm like this, stiff and starchy, saying, "Hello, my name is Helen Lingard." And I was so terrified, I was shaking. But now, several years on, people say I'm a natural. I don't feel like a natural, but I'm comfortable with it. I'm okay doing it. So, it's kind of, and that's how you get, and just start doing it. And before you get out of your comfort zone, you have to watch the language you're talking to yourself, because you have to think before you speak, because if you're saying, "I'm no good at this, I can't do this," then you won't do it. You've got to say, "Okay, I can do this. Okay, this is good. Okay, yes, I'm fine. I can do this." And just keep talking to yourself, and positive, empowering affirmations, or as Tony Robbins says, incantations. Get your arms going and get the feeling. And his one of his colleagues, I can't remember his name now, but he runs on the beach in the mornings or whatever, and he's shouting out his incantations, because when you set with meaning and you get your emotion in there, it means more, and your whole body gets into the energy. So it's really good to do incantations. And a great thing to look at, and I'll see if I can find it. There's a, in fact, if you're interested, my friend Cherie has posted this ninja, and it's basically doing something in front of the mirror. This little 4-year-old girl is in front of the mirror telling herself things she loves every day, and that's what you need to start doing. What else have I got here for you? Oh yes, everyone who's anyone. And one person that I just always quote is Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. He tried 10,000 times before he invented the light bulb. So everybody who is anybody, everybody famous has had to get out of their comfort zone. I mean, actors and actresses who are now famous, they struggled to get out of their comfort zone because they've got to go on stage in front of people and be auditioned. It does get out of their comfort zone, but it's just push yourself forward. And what I didn't share is that when you get out of your comfort zone, when I did my first speech, when I got on those hangouts, I felt so good afterwards, because that serotonin gets whizzing around your body and you feel so good. You think, oh, I accomplished it, I got through it, I did it. And when you do it, you think, yes, I can go another level, another level, another level. So, well worth doing. What else did I say? Oh, yes, I just want to show this. I went to Toastmasters the other week, and a guy came who was a president of another Toastmasters. And it was interesting. He's a president. He's been doing it a while. But he got up to speak, and he said something about, look at me here. I'm just this big so-and-so speaking here. And it was all negative language. That's not the way to talk. You can say, I was this person, and now look at me here. But you've got to talk to your audience and about yourself. You've got to go up and say, look, yes, here I am. I'm very proud to be up here now. I'm this confident so-and-so. I wasn't always like this. Say, I wasn't, not, here I am, and I'm not this person, because you're talking to yourself, and whatever you say to yourself, your subconscious is taking in, and you can be that person. So you've got to be that confident person. You have to, as they say, if you've watched any law of attraction stuff or any Abraham Hicks, you've got to be that person you want to be. So you've got to talk to yourself, I can do this talk, I'm going to do this talk, and see the when you finish with it, see the great blog you've done, or see the great video you've done. See yourself being successful, having achieved that, whatever you want to achieve. So remember, when you get up there, whatever you're doing, talk with confidence. One thing I find with my Toastmaster speeches, I've done 5 now, and each time they say to me, you come across as confident. I don't feel confident all the time. Sometimes I'm shaking there and I'm thinking, oh my God, and I'm watching, because there's 3 lines, there's 3 lights. There's a yellow, oh God, I forget the colour now. I think it might be green, orange, red, and you've got to talk for 5 at green, orange 6, and red is 7, because you've got 5 to 7 minutes. And you can bet your bottom dollar, I'm just waiting for that first green light, and as soon as that green light's hit, I'm finishing, because I'm so used to doing videos which just take a very short space of time. So whilst they say to me, I look very confident there, I'm not necessarily. For me, I turn around and say, and I'm passionate about it. When you're passionate about something, it's so much easier, because for me, I'm passionate about what I'm talking about, and I'm here to inspire people. I'm here to help people, and so for me, having that passion behind what I do helps tremendously. What else have I got written here? Okay, so getting up to that, if you're like I used to be, excuse me, let's have a drink. Yes, I'm drinking a drop of wine. If you're not confident, to get confident, immerse yourself, absolutely immerse yourself in empowering material. It'll do wonders for you. Read books, and if you've read any of my blogs or you've seen any of my previous videos, read books 30 minutes a day at least, empowering books. I don't read fiction anymore, I just read empowering stuff, because fiction just doesn't uplift me, and feeding your mind is what you'll become. So the more you feed your mind, the more confident you become. So get some books, inbox me on Facebook, there's my address here. If you want to know what books I read, or you can just go to my blog, you'll find books, or Google, but I'm happy to answer any questions. really do those exercises in the mirror, read empowering books, talk to yourself, affirmations, incantations. I am this, I'm that. Gratitude, do gratitude. Everything you do positively will help you get to the next level. And I want to share with you while I'm here, I don't want to keep you too long. I've done a blog about this. I went to a football game, my son's final on Friday night, and the other team were quite, the supporters were quite rough with them, and the team were quite aggressive. And it really knocked for six some of the kids. And this is why we need to be teaching self-development, self-improvement in schools, because kids need to be prepared, because in life you're going to come across people who want to knock you down. Not they're bad people, as Lady Gaga says, the bully and the victim are in the same space. They're not empowered. So it's very important that we're all empowered. You teach your kids to be empowered. So please do, as well as you reading books, if you've got children, empower your children. You know, do gratitude log with your children. Do you know, gratitude before you have meals. Do gratitude, simple things, you know, all around the house. All these things will help your children and yourself to get out of your comfort zone, because then challenges will always happen in life to all of us, but the more we're empowered, the more we feel happy in ourselves, we can cope with them. And once again, getting through those challenges is getting out of your comfort zone. So I hope that's helped you. I'll keep it very short today. I'm trying to think of anything else. Let me just check my notes, what else I had to go over with you. Books. Oh yeah, just the final one. I mentioned this earlier on, but just the final one. If you see something that you don't like or you don't approve of, or it doesn't seem right to you, don't be afraid to speak up. Again, this is getting out of your comfort zone. If it's something you think, oh, I can't, well, if it's really bad, ring the police, ring the dog warden, but don't be afraid to speak up, because basically you've got to think, this is how I think of it. Well, but how would I feel if I didn't speak up and something happened? And I heard something happen. Like if you see a bad driver, I mean, this is karma, but if you see somebody driving crazily, you think, oh, that's not right, do, you know, report or whatever. Again, that's out of your comfort zone. Do it, because there's nothing worse than hearing, oh, there's a crash, someone died, and oh, that was the car, I was so badly driving, I didn't do anything about it. So on that note, I'll finish up. And if you've got any questions, please inbox me on Facebook. Check out my blog, workwithhellinger.com. And if any of my team members are watching, I'll see you next week. And, well, in fact, I'll talk to you in the week. And I look forward to catching up with you, and get out of your comfort zone. Talk to you soon.